Hey, how's it going? I feel like I'm playing a playing a little intro while waiting for people to come in. Who's on right now? John. Nice. Yeah, man. Sorry, I know you said Sundays are better for you. Sorry, I ended up having to move it to a Saturday. Hopefully, you can stay on for most of the stream. But if you have to go, then thanks for swinging by. How's everything going out in Texas? Yep. Yeah. Everything okay out there? Okay, good, good. Glad to hear that, man. How was your week? Okay. Had a pretty good week? Yeah, tell me about it, man. We're already basically in October, and once the holiday season rolls around, man, everything just zooms by. So it's been a very fast year, but I'm looking forward to the holiday season. It's actually my favorite time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're just a few weeks away, and then Thanksgiving and Christmas. Pretty crazy. But I wanted to today I have a different song that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be uploading the Shape of You. I know I was working on that last time. I'm probably going to be recording it within the next couple weeks and upload that and post that up. But I wanted to go ahead and get started on the next song afterwards. So I don't know if you probably haven't heard this song before, but this was a song that was very popular when I was a kid. So this was back in like the 90s, early 90s, 90, 92, 93, 94. There was a song that came out called The Crossroads. And it was at the time by a group called Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. I'll play a little bit of it for you to see if you can pick it up. But I've been wanting to play this one for a long time. And the interesting thing about this, as you'll hear with the sample, is one of the first rap songs where the rappers kind of sang to a melody or rap to a melody, I guess, which will make it actually pretty interesting to transfer onto the piano. But one thing you'll notice is that they're very quick with the things that they say. So I could play just a little piece of it. That was actually what I was working on while you're waiting to come on. Let me see if we can hear that. So you get the gist of it. So all of that fast singing / rapping goes on pretty much from start to finish. But the interesting thing is, given that the melody of the words that they're saying doesn't have that wide of a range, it's actually not that hard to pick up on piano. That's not the hard part. The hard part is actually picking up the beat in the background. Now, luckily, with a lot of like hip hop songs, they'll have a beat that just repeats. So unlike pop songs and a lot of rock songs and other genres where you have certain music for certain sections of the song, the verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus, the bridge, the music kind of changes a little bit. If anything, just the chord progression. With a lot of hip hop songs, you'll have like a 4-bar loop and it'll basically stay the same for the entire, three and a half minutes of the song. So that's what I have kind of in my favor with this. But there's a very distinct bass line that gets played. Let me see if I can. You probably can't hear it through the speakers on this, but actually, let me see. Hey, sorry, hold on. All right, so, sorry, I saw you sent the message. Could you send that again? Can you hear the bass? It's basically a slow walk that's like. Yeah, unfortunately. But this is basically what's going on. It's just. And it repeats that through the entire song. The interesting thing about it is it basically walks up most of the notes in a seventh chord. So that's pretty much the chord that it's formed around. And then you just add the remaining notes from the bass. So that helps. Let me see. So it's kind of like. Just repeats that. All right, so that's easy to do with both hands. The trick is going to be to try to get that playing while also doing. So once the verse comes in. So all those rhythms, trying to get that all in there while still playing that. So. Okay, so that's more or less the idea, right? But that feels a little boring to me to just play it like that. So what we need is the so somehow we got to get that in there. That feels more like the song. Let's see. This is where it will help to have really big hands, huh? All right, so that's too big of a stretch for my hand. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to get this. This rhythmic part of the bass. All right, that's one of the issues. So I gotta figure that out. The other part is there is a very So then we also have a little melody that's being played. It's like, so that's being layered in. So we have, without the bass line, sounds pretty good on piano, right? I actually wasn't really sure how this would sound on the keys, but it sounds a little jazzy. I don't know, what do you think? Can you hear this okay? You still there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this sets itself really well for that. Have you heard this song before? Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Just out of curiosity, have you heard this before? It was out probably around. Oh, okay, new to you. Well, I definitely encourage you to check it out when we get off of this, so that you can hear some of the things that I'm referring to that you're probably not picking up well on the iPad through YouTube. But like I said, the main meat and potatoes of the music basically repeats from start to finish. You'll have little elements that are thrown in, kind of like this melody that I was pointing out. But aside from that, you know, the same chord progression from start to finish, and the same rhythm, so same instrumentation. So that makes it pretty easy. All right, so let's see. Okay, so let's see if we can throw. So now that's 3 to 4 things you gotta try to work in. So this. That could work. Okay, so here's a trick. As I'm playing this, this is something that you could even use. I don't know what version songs that you're playing, John, but this is a little trick that can help with the large leaps. So, for example, here, I'm basically jumping from here up to here, right? So some of this, you know, is kind of muscle memory. You do it a few times, you more or less get it, right? But the trick is, at least something that works for me, is I'm playing an octave, right? So I'm having my pinky and my thumb both on F sharp, right? And then I jump up to this F minor 7. What helps is to just look, so the whole time I'm making this jump, I'm only looking at my thumb. I'm not looking over here at my pinky at all. I'm just trusting that the spacing between my thumb and my pinky has basically been set to memory, and that as long as I can see where my thumb is going, my pinky will end up where it needs to end up. So I'm looking at my thumb, even though I'm playing this low F sharp here, my eyes are focused here. So then that makes the leap feel that much smaller. So it really feels like I'm doing this. And it's all in the same area, right? Rather than this, which is a much bigger jump. So that's a little something that you can keep in mind if and when you do play songs that have big jumps. Same thing happened with Despacito. The whole time I'm looking at my thumb as I'm jumping around the keyboard. It makes the distance feel shorter, which helps make it easier. All right, good. this. Okay, so here I could throw in, let me see, so I could throw in the harmony. So the trick is I have to get this, right? While playing here. So this is the part where it becomes a little tricky because I need to get that harmony here. Okay, so this is where inversions come in handy because I'm basically trying to play this A major chord over this B. So A major over B in the bass, but I want to capture some of the notes down here so I can invert it. Have you gotten to the inversion lessons yet, John? In the intermediate tour? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about there. Yeah, so I want to get this harmony here. That chord there. I think that's it. Let me try it again. Okay, so I think that's it. I think what needs to happen there, basically, so let me explain what's going on here. So we have this, and then this comes in on a syncopated beat. So it's like, you see, so that comes in a split second early. I want to try to capture that syncopated rhythm while still playing the melody, and I think I have a way to do that. So I just jump down there. Alright, I could work with that, so I just need to kind of clean it up a little bit. How does that sound? Still sounds a little jazzy? Let me try to move on to the next part of the song. Good. Hopefully a good interesting. So let me see if I could. All right, so then the other part. Oh, okay, so let me point something else out. So there's a lot of this, right? Very quick. There's a couple different ways to do this. So here's another tip. Especially if you're working on black keys, it's a lot easier because they're elevated. So a classical way to do, so a lot of people, if they're classically trained, so what I learned is that there's a lot of switching between your middle finger and your thumb, right? So it's like, right? I don't really do it that way, but I can see how that's useful. What helps me is kind of, if you lift your wrist and kind of bring it down, kind of like in this motion. So sometimes you're hitting the keys on the way down. I've learned that for myself, it's easier to hit them quicker if my wrist is kind of on the downward motion. I don't know how I don't know how much sense that makes, but luckily you usually won't find them more than 3 to 4 times very quickly, but that's something that you can try to help be able to hit notes. So then the one other thing that I really want to tackle is this chorus. So in this song, the chorus comes, it's kind of just this repeating. All right, so they basically just repeat, see you at the crossroad, crossroad, crossroad. And then do that again. Not bad. That feels a little boring to me though, so I mean, I can kind of spruce it up with. All right, so that's something, when in doubt, go with octaves, right? It gives it a little bit more body, makes it sound a little fuller. Same thing that I explained earlier. The whole time I'm playing this, I'm looking at one finger, and that one finger is whatever finger is closer to the center of the keyboard, that's where my eyes focus. So I'm looking at my thumb the entire time. I never look over to my pinky. It's too far away. So thumb. thing here. So my eyes are kind of going back and forth between this thumb and this thumb. So here, this thumb, back to this thumb, back over here. Yeah, so just keep practicing that. So that's going to be tricky. So one other thing you can do when you start playing octaves in your music is you could add other voices. So like rather than just playing this B, I can add this E here. So same here. I'm adding a F sharp when I go to C sharp. You just want to make sure that whatever note is being added works with whatever harmony is being played at that moment. So like right now I have an F sharp here in my F sharp minor 7. So I'm going to include the F sharp here while playing the C sharp. Then you can start doing little cool things like adding a melody into the harmonizing voice. So like rather than just following the direction of the octave moving down, so then this moves down too with it, parallel. You can start doing stuff where like this moves in the opposite direction. You kind of give it its own melody, which is something that I like to do sometimes when I'm working on arrangement, because I feel like that adds to just the musicality of it, I guess. It makes it sound less predictable. All right. So this chorus is going to be probably the most important part. Everything else, like I said in this song, is I'll probably play with single notes. But the chorus, I feel, needs some body to it. So let's see, go. I think I like that better, keeping it on an E. So we can add a little dissonance here. So basically what you're hearing is you're hearing an A major chord, but then I'm throwing a note that isn't in the A major chord, which is D sharp. So A major, A, C sharp, E, but then I'm throwing a D sharp there, right? So that adds a little bit of dissonance to it. So it'll sound, you hear that? And then you can resolve it, so bring it back to the E, which is part of the chord. So that is the chorus. I'm wondering if I should throw another voice in there. No, I think it sounds best that way. Okay. All right, I like that. So, for sake of adding variety to it, this is what I'm thinking. Because even that could get a little boring, right? If it's this the entire time. What if? So, that one's. All right, so I don't know how we can do that, but basically this is a variation on the main theme of. So rather than playing them as block chords, right, we can break up the notes, right? So that replaces the first chord. Repeat it. Okay, I like that. How does that sound? It breaks up it changes the energy a little bit, right? Makes it a little, I guess, prettier. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, so that's something I have to work on. But it looks like we have the main. And then when you throw in the verse, and then if I ever wanted to switch that up again, I could. Let's see, so we have the broken. We have that option. So there we go. That's another option. So there's a lot of different things we could do with this, right? We could do the standard, right? We could do that. We have the broken, all right, so we have this version, sorry. Right? But then we also have, so it's similar, but it's more open, right? I like that. I'm about to try to figure out where to throw that in, because I like how that sounds. So maybe I could use that for, say, the second verse. So maybe the first verse could be the standard, and then could change things up when you get to the second verse. Here's the second verse, actually. Let me actually play that running through with the song. kind of drops out here. So the only thing with that is that could work. We just have to slow it down a little bit because that doesn't sound as good that fast. But that could work. Okay, that could work. All right, I think that works. Got the verse. I can play around with this for the second verse. Make it sound a little prettier, make it sound a little more like a piano piece. And then I could throw in the active bass, maybe for the second half of the chorus. I think we'll have it. So I'll work on this. As you can see, a lot of this comes down to what being played in the left hand, because the right hand, you're just gonna play the melody and that's already given to you. You know, you can throw extra voices on it here and there, but the most you can really do with the right hand melody is just to add more harmonies to it, right? But the left hand is where pretty much all the magic happens, because that's where you capture the rhythms. That's where you change the feel of the song, or you add to the melody by even adding parts. You can even add parts of the melody into the left hand while playing the supporting harmony. So the left hand is usually the challenge when working on piano arrangements. So I'm happy with what we came up with today. So I think this is going to come out pretty interesting. So I'm gonna play around with this and get all these quick rhythms in. When we finish this, if you get a second, yep, that's exactly right. I highly recommend, and I'll email everyone a link to this song. I highly recommend that you give it a listen and listen for the different elements that I was referring to today, and see if you can try to pick up on some of the elements yourself. The good thing about the production of this song is that there are a lot of intricacies found in the music itself, a lot of little melodies. Okay, perfect. Step ahead of me, man, I like that. Yeah, you'll hear a lot of different things going on in the background. So I know that I've simplified it by saying it's just this, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and as I work on this, I'm going to try to capture as much of that as possible, because I think it'll help make this sound more like the actual song, and it would help it sound more full. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'm going to record the Ed Sheeran one probably within the next couple weeks, and then I'll probably follow up with this one maybe a week or two after that. I'll see if I could try to get a couple out next month. and then start prepping for the next one. Again, thanks for stopping by. Next month I'll try to keep it on Sunday. Sunday morning is actually easier for me too, or Sunday like early afternoon. So next month we'll probably do the last Sunday of the month, and I'll let you guys know. I'll send a calendar invite and everything, so you guys can join in. But thanks again. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. You have any questions before I let you go? I think you're going to start using that tip now. You're going to start looking at your thumb as you're jumping around the keyboard. Okay, cool. Well, if any question comes up, you have my email address, you have a way of contacting me, so feel free to shoot it to me and I will answer any questions you have. Okay? Yep, that's right, the thumb on each hand. The trick is to try to keep your eyes moving from left to right as minimally as possible. You don't want to be, looking over here and looking over there when you can just look from here to here. So that's the trick. All right. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you hopefully next month. And keep an eye out for these next couple videos, all right? Take care.